Hello and welcome to the video. My name is Nice Micro and today's topic is going to be the trash can and its implementation that we can use in Arch Linux. So trash can must be familiar for you if you used some kind of other operating system. So most of the operating systems give you a chance that when you delete files you can retrieve those files later, and basically you can do the same thing on Linux. So to do that let's just go to a random directory in my home directory, which is this templates directory. Let's just create a new document. It's an untitled document and I can press delete on it and this will disappear. But if I go to this trash icon here, this untitled document will be here at the top. So this is what trash is for, and so if you go to the Arch Wiki, unfortunately what you will find is a very short document, and this is not really helpful, unfortunately. But there is a link to the Freedesktop.org's trash specification, which is a very difficult read. It is basically gives a framework on how to implement this trash can. So basically it just describes the trash storage, but it does not limit the ways actual implementations should operate as long as they use the same trash storage. So it's command line utilities, desktop integrated solutions, etc. can use this specifications. Also multi-user environment should take care of like the user's own trash spaces, so you cannot remove files from other people's trash, you cannot empty other people's trash cans or stuff like that. So this document defines the trash or trash can is a storage where the files that were trashed or deleted by the user are stored. These files should be listed on demand, and they can offer the option to undelete or clean from the trash can. And so this should store the original location of the file and the original file name of the file for the restoring purposes. And basically every user has a home trash in the home directory. That's the basic implementation here, which must be available for any trashing purpose. So if you delete something from your home directory, just as I did in the demonstration for you, those should be deleted into this data/trash directory. And so if I go to my console here, and if I actually go back to my home directory, this is going to be in .local-share-trash. So this is our trash directory where our trashed files will be stored alongside with metadata. As you can see here, it contains 3 separate folders that will contain the trashed files and its metadata. But the problem with this is that so sometimes you have files on network storage or other drives, removable devices, other partitions, etc. And so it can offer you to trash the files from there to your home directory, but that would mean that those files have to be copied to the partition where your home directory is, which is not really a good implementation. And so basically what will happen in Nemo, that if you go to another partition and you try to delete some file from there, then it will just tell you that well, you cannot trash that file, and it will ask you if you want to permanently delete that file. So of course that's not something you want to do. Sometimes you want to have the option to trash your files on other file systems too. So what you can do for that, you should have a .trash in the top directory of that file system. So in my case, I have the different folders mounted here in my media directory, and for this data folder I mounted my inner hard drive, which contains this nice micro folder, which is kind of an extension of my my home directory. So if I just go there in the console, cd/media/data, and I list everything here, you can see that this nice micro directory is mine, so it's owned by me, owned by my group. So if I enter that directory, then you will see that it contains two directories, and so I have my videos folder in my home directory, which has a link to this videos directory here. So basically I link these to my home directory using symbolic links, and when I'm working on files in these directories, then I cannot trash those to my home directory, because that would you need this data to be copied over partition boundaries, and Nemo won't do that unless, so it will basically say that, do you really want to delete the file? And I can demonstrate that in a second with just a temporary file system, how it works, because I already implemented my trash can here. So let's just cut to there. Okay, so for this demonstration I created this temporary directory where I mounted a RAM file system which resides in memory, and so here there is no trash implementation, and I tried and it is not possible. So Nemo does not support trashing in these temporary file systems anyways. But what happens when you don't have trashing is that you press delete and it will tell you that cannot move file to trash, and you can cancel it or just delete it permanently. Same thing happens if you right click on move to trash. You have to delete the file permanently or don't delete it at all in this case, which is totally different to what happens in my data directory. So if I go to my data folder, I create a new folder here, I can just press delete and it is trashed. We can just go to the trash can and we can, well, find it somewhere. So maybe it's better if I, you know what, you can believe me, I don't make another file for you. Okay, so of course, now that, how do I implement the trash can here? So unfortunately Nemo doesn't automatically create the .trash directory for you, and so what you have to do for that is, I will just show you, but I already did that. So let's just go to the data directory and let's check what's here. So this is the .trash directory, and if we go back to our documentation, it should be in every partition's top directory. There should be this .trash directory if we want to use trash on that partition, and so the permissions on this directory should permit all users who can trash files to all write in it, and the sticky bit must be set if the file system supports it. So the sticky bit will make it that every file in the folder can only be deleted by the user who owns it. So if the sticky bit is not set, then any user who has write permission to the directory can delete files from there, which means that you can delete files that were created by other users. But if you set the sticky bit on, which is shown here with this T letter, if you have the sticky bit on, that means that only the owner of files can delete them. And what you have to do is you just have to create this .trash directory and then after that, the system, when you first trash a file there, will create this directory with your user ID, and it will only give you permission to read and write and execute. So if I go into here and list what's inside here, and you can see it's files and info, the same thing. So how do you create these trash directories? So for that we are going to go back to /media/temporary. So unfortunately I can create the trash directory here, but it won't work for some reason. So what you have to do is sudo mkdir. So you have to sudo mkdir.trash. That should be the name of the directory. You can see that we doesn't have the perfect permissions for that, so you have to sudo chmod all plus right dot trash, and also sudo chmod t, or maybe plus t dot trash. And then now let's check out. You can see now the trash directory has write and execute permissions for everyone and has the sticky bit set. So it is what you have to do on your other directories or other partitions to enable trashing there, which of course unfortunately, so for some reason does not work on this temporary file system. So even if I still create this document and press delete, it wants to delete it permanently, even you have the trash folder here. I think this is an implementation in Nemo that doesn't let you to have a trash directory on a temporary RAM disk, but you can have the trash directory on your other data. So I think this is it. You can check the description for the links and for these few commands that I used. And I guess this is the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it and get some new information on how to use the trash can. Always throw your trash in the trash can, don't litter, please. And well, if you like this video, give me a like, share this with your friends who might need to learn about using trash cans. Subscribe for more content, check out the playlist, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.